Welcome to the Bodybuilding Banter podcast, your number one source of all things bodybuilding. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on future episodes. Now, here's your host, Leroy Rollins.
What is happening, guys? Welcome to the Bodybuilding Banter podcast. Now, this is the first, I believe, solo episode. Now, what I did was I put on my Instagram a little Q&A, asked me a question kind of deal, and had people submit some questions that they wanted me to answer on this podcast. I think I did that on Monday. Recording this Tuesday, will be up tomorrow, Wednesday. So I got a few questions, some specifically related to like bodybuilding and training, stuff like that, and then some other ones that were kind of different. I'm going to try to keep this under 20 minutes if I can. Obviously, I don't have a guest to, talk back and forth with and shoot the shit with. So I'm going to try to get straight to the point, make these answers as quick as I can, be specific about everything, and give you guys some insight and answer some questions that you guys have for me. So sit back, relax, enjoy the podcast, and let's get right into it. Okay, so what I did was I saved all the questions onto my phone and kind of jotted down some quick points just so I didn't get lost in my answers. So first one, favorite classic physique pose. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, or if you're new to the channel, this year I'm currently under 11 weeks out now for my first competition of 2019. And up until this point, I'd always done bodybuilding. I actually did some men's physique when I first got into competing, but this time around, we're gonna actually try out classic physique as well. So we're doing bodybuilding, just regular standard open bodybuilding, and then classic physique too. My coach, the last two shows, I guess, that we did, I've been with the same coach now for almost 4 years, and he's always said, like, you gotta give classic a try, you got a good physique for it, you got good shape for it, and since it's height and weight restricted, there's, like in bodybuilding, there's just your weight class, whereas classic physique, there's height and weight. He thinks I will do well in it because of those restrictions, and for my frame and everything, so alright, this is off to a rocky start. My camera was full, and it beeped at me and then shut off, so I apologize for the little hiccup right here, guys. But anyways, favorite classic pose, let's get straight to the point, is, I believe, the general term for it is the Frank Zane. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen me do that a lot lately, kind of fallen in love with it. So it's the arms up this way, vacuum sucked in, hip kind of dropped to the side. I'll put a photo up here right now, you can see that. But that's just the one I like the most. I think the second one, if I had to pick my top two, would be that one. And then the archer, one arm up, one arm to the side, looking out to that arm. Just really a fan of the classic posing, actually. I'm super pumped to actually compete in classic physique and really get some creative juices flowing with the physique. I'm pumped for my routine. It's starting to come along really nicely, so obviously I'll have footage of that when the time comes. But favorite classic pose would be this one, and then this one for second place. Okay, question number 2. How are Canadians so nice? I don't know if I have a direct answer to that. Speaking from, the people I surround myself with, we're generally pretty happy people. Us Canadian folk are pretty positive, and we always say please and thank you, and we're known to be very nice people. I don't know entirely why that is. Speaking for today right now, outside it's like a blizzard, minus 20 degrees, so you think that would make you miserable, but maybe just because we're used to it, we're over it. But I don't know why we're all so nice, but for the most part we are. Okay, question number 3, what supplements do I take? Now, first and foremost, guys, my supplement routine is pretty much consistent all the time. There's no huge differences from when I'm on prep to when I'm in the off season. I take a few different things now, just for like from a health perspective, just because my diet is specific and it's very structured, and there's some nutrients that I might not be getting from my diet, so I supplement with those. But from an overall perspective, things are pretty consistent across the board. Number 1 is a whey protein. I take Blue Star Nutraceuticals Iso Smooth. I've taken that protein forever. Again, contest prep, off season, it's in my post-workout shake, it's in my smoothies, it's a quick shake if I'm on the go. That's the stuff I put in my oatmeal. That's the one that I always take. Another one is creatine monohydrate, again by Blue Star. I take 5 grams in my post-workout shake all the time. I don't load it, I don't cycle off it, it's just a consistent all the time. A pre-workout is another one that I take pretty consistently. Aminos sometimes if I'm feeling it. As far as any vitamins and stuff go, right now I take a multivitamin. That usually goes away when I'm in the off season because my food selection is a little bit more varied. And I take vitamin D right now, I take vitamin C right now. But other than that, fish oil, that's another one. So it's pretty, some might say that's a lot, but for me it doesn't seem like that much because it's just protein, creatine are the staples, and then some vitamins and stuff when I'm on prep. So nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but that's basically it. All right, favorite body part to train. Now, I've mentioned this in a few podcasts that when I was younger, as most of us probably thought this way, we wanted big arms, we wanted huge guns, so arm day was always the favorite day. That was the favorite body part. Get the shirt, a little tighter, get pumped up. But now that's changed. As I've gotten into bodybuilding, I've favored the harder workouts, the harder sets, the exercises that really make you work. So with that being said, leg day is my favorite. I love loading up the bar for some the bar for some squats, loading up the hack squat or the leg press or deadlifts. Like, I just love that feeling of moving some heavy weight around, and it's rewarding when you walk out of the gym because you know you did some work. Arm day is like, nowadays it's like whatever, right? Like, let's be honest, you're just moving your arm and it's limited, right? Like, you get a pump and you can make it hard, and I'm not saying that like my arm days are like lazy by no means, but when you compare them to like a leg workout, like, man, leg extensions for like sets of 20, 30, 40 reps, like that shit's hard, and like, I don't know, that's the stuff that's fun to me. I know not everybody thinks that way, but leg day for me is my favorite, and behind that would be back day. I just love the variety that you can do with back, just any different angle you can pull, different handles, there's all kinds of grips out there you can try and play around with. So for me, back day would probably be a close second, but leg day is number one. All right, another question I got was physique weak points. Where on my body do I think needs work? And the short answer, guys, is everything. I want everything to get better, and that's just the name of the game with bodybuilding. I don't think there's any bodybuilder that's, content with how their physique looks. I think you can be proud of what you've accomplished, and even for me right now, I'm super pleased with what I've built so far and what I'll bring to the stage in April. But as a whole, there's still so much more to do. On top of that, it's like a never-ending game of trying to improve your physique, right? So for me to look at like my chest and be like, because my chest is kind of a strong point, to be like, yeah, my chest is fine, I don't need to change chest anymore. No way. Like, if my chest can get bigger, hell yeah, let's keep going, right? But if I was to name like a body part that's a weak point, I would say calves. We joke about that all the time, that my calves are small, but they've made improvements, but there's still an area that I like look at and I'm like, to the rest of my body, I'm like, shit, my calves need to grow. So that's been a priority, and it's worked. They have grown, they have gotten better, but the next 2 years of off season, like, I really hope that I can get some substantial gains on my calves. Like, even like half an inch would be nice. I think it would just kind of, even things up a little bit, like from my physique as a whole. Be like, okay, shoulders, chest, abs, quads, calves, like, it would look better, I think. But again, as a whole, like, everything can grow and get better. Okay, favorite cheat meal was a question that I got. If you guys follow me on Instagram, this is an easy answer. It's a burger, fries, and some cookies. Specifically, Burger Revolution is a local, it's not like fast food, but it's not a full-on restaurant. Like, you can go in and eat, but it's not like a big chain or anything like that. But they get everything local. Everything's like basically like homemade, and it's so good. You just taste the quality in it, right? Like, they get the potatoes locally, all the produce is local, the beef is local. Like, it's just so good. I think about it right now and I'm kind of getting hungry, but anyways. Thankfully, this prep, I've been basically getting a refeed every Saturday, so usually it's like Burger Revolution, Burger Revolution, Burger Revolution, and then I go to Tim Hortons and get some chocolate chip cookies. That's the staple cheat meal, guys. After the show, pizza will be on the list of what I want. Pizza and donuts, probably. just because I don't get like pizza really like at all for this entire prep or ever. So that'll be happening, but I would say like burger, fries, cookies, like that's a solid meal. It's so good. It just tastes amazing, and it hits all the flavors, right? You get like the salt and like the fat, and then you get like a hit of sweetness and sugary goodness from the cookies. It's just good. It's just phenomenal. If you're ever in the area, in the Belleville, Ontario vicinity, or if you're driving through or whatever, go to Burger Revolution and tell them I sent you. And the last one, guys, was goals that I have outside of bodybuilding. Now, I actually had to think about this one because I don't think about it a lot, but like I just love bodybuilding so much, and I'm just so like involved in it. Like I train clients and I, compete myself, and we've got this podcast going, and like there's just so much I love about bodybuilding and so much I just want to be involved in it. And sometimes I think that there's like more to life. I don't think that there's more to life or whatever I'm trying to say. But like goals outside of bodybuilding is obviously like keep a very good relationship with my parents and Carrie, my girlfriend, like just really keep that strong and not get, distracted by the world and forget about the other things. Because at the end of the day, like that's what's really important is like, those relationships with those people. Like if this all went away, like to still have those relationships is huge, right? And to keep those strong. So keeping that, those relationships good. I'd like to continue to travel. This year, that's probably not going to happen a whole lot with competing. Competing, guys, is like super consuming, and it's not cheap, right? So to put funds towards traveling somewhere or whatever might not happen this year. We'll see how things look near the end of the year when prices are a little bit cheaper to go somewhere. But like I want to see a lot. There's a lot in the world, and we went to Europe in 2017, and that was just phenomenal. There's so much over there to see, and we went to the Eiffel Tower and the Colosseum in Rome, and it's just phenomenal. And to confine yourself to one area, I think you're kind of shortening your experiences and limiting yourself. There's just so much to see, even locally in Ontario, right? Like we've got Niagara Falls close by, and Ottawa and Toronto. There's so much to see in those places. So even to take like weekend trips away just to like see stuff and experience things, I think that's key for my sanity and going back to those relationships, like experiencing that with my girlfriend and my family and that kind of stuff. That's important to me. So outside of bodybuilding, traveling and being close with family and stuff, that's key. So that would be the answer to that question. I don't really have any like things I'm chasing like financially, I guess you could say. Like we have the house now, and we're comfortable here, and like I don't need a boat or like a motorcycle or like things people need. Like I'm not driven by that stuff. As long as I have like some extra cash to spend and save, towards what I like and what I really want to do, and all my expenses are covered comfortably, like I'm in a good spot. Like I don't need to be a millionaire. I just need enough to survive and live the life I want to live, right? I don't need to be on a yacht somewhere every weekend, right? Like that's just not who I am. So as far as goals outside of bodybuilding, I think I answered that as best I could. So guys, this ends the solo podcast, the first Q&A solo podcast that we're doing. Next week we will have another guest on. I believe next week will be Josh. He's a returning guest. His podcast the first time was very popular, so hopefully you guys will like round 2. If you're new to this podcast or whatever, be sure to subscribe, guys, to the channel. Episodes are every Wednesday, unless something comes up and I can't upload or a guest cancels or something like that. But we're pretty consistent with every Wednesday. I'll probably do one of these little Q&A setups maybe every like 6 to 8 weeks or so, especially with prep going on. I can answer questions as far as prep goes. But for the most part, new guests every Wednesday, and then obviously the typical channel stuff throughout the week as well. So be sure to subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this, like the video. If there's questions you want answered, comment them below or send me a message and I'll mark them down for next time. But this ends the video, guys. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.